there, YouTube. I'm back here today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Modern Art from CMON. This is the classic by Reiner Minizia for 3 to 5 players. Take about 60 minutes to play, and it's for ages 14 plus. And in Modern Art, this is all about bidding and auctioning. Once each round, someone is going to be an auctioneer. They're going to put a painting or 2 paintings up for bid, and then everyone else at the table is going to bid for those paintings and pay the auctioneer. It is a classic game with a facelift, but does it still hold up to the test of time? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Modern Art. So, first and foremost, we got our handy dandy rule booklet. It's 27 pages, but you're only going to need the first 3. The first 3 pages are very well done. They should have you up and running in no time at all. Big thumbs up in the rule booklet. Rodney from Watch It Played also has a fantastic, pretty short video that will teach you how to play as well. So either way, you can't go wrong. On the back, they got a handy dandy reference, which will take you through the different auctions, tiebreakers, that sort of thing. So big thumbs up on that as well. So what are the other 24 pages? They're all art stuff. Not much of an art guy myself, but they got a bunch of art prints from the actual artists and facts about art or paint, or I don't know, I didn't read any of it. But if you like art, I mean, that's surely a selling point, I think. So in Modern Art, this is a classic game of bidding, and more bidding. But what sets this game apart is there's not just one type of bidding. You're going to have numerous different types of auctions in this game. And very interestingly, you are going to be paying the auctioneer, who will be another player, each time you do it. What am I talking about? Let's go over the components. We'll get the gameplay. So first, we got a huge pile of tokens. They're all mixed up, which I'm sure makes some people cringe, which I kind of like doing. But you're going to have money over here, and this is whoever has the most money at the end of the 4 rounds will win the game. And you're going to spend money to purchase paintings, and you're also going to earn money by selling your paintings to other people and also selling paintings at the end of each round, which I'll explain a little bit later. Next, you're going to have these circles, which will come in 30, 20, and 10. So there's kind of an area control aspect to the game, which whichever paintings, and there's yellow paintings, blue paintings, red paintings, green paintings, and orange paintings, whoever has the most of that color out is going to earn 30 for each of those paintings, and that will go throughout the entire game. Whoever's in second will earn 20, and whoever's in third will earn 10. So if you had, say, 4 orange, 4 green, 2 red, 1 and 1, these are the only 3 that would get paid out. So that is an interesting aspect of the game, which we'll cover a little bit more later. Next, we have the gavel right here, which is just going to signify who the current auctioneer is. And then you have the cards, and more cards. The only thing you need to pay attention to on the cards, so let's just ignore all this artwork, is are the colors and the symbols in the top left-hand corner. Because as I mentioned, there are going to be numerous different types of auctions you can have in the game. So the first type are going to be the little eyeball auctions like this, and this is just your typical auction. So if I put this up for auction, I'd say this is up for auction. Somebody might say $1, $2, $3, $6, $8, and it's just kind of a free-form auction house. And yes, the auctioneer can bid as well. And they said when no one else is bidding, they say going, gone, and then whoever won the auction has to pay the auctioneer that much money. Also, if the auctioneer wins it, then they just pay the money to the bank. Typical bidding stuff. You have to raise it by $1. You can't bid less. Nothing stupid like that. So I'm not even going to cover all that garbage. The next kind of auction you're going to see are, let's see, where is it? Yes, the star ones. And the star ones are one-offer auctions. So going in turn order around the table, you will get one opportunity to make a bid. So I might say $17. The next person might pass. The next person might be like $21. And then, assuming you were in a 4-player game, it would get back to the auctioneer, who would either decide, are they going to pay $22 for this painting, or are they going to sell the painting to the other player for $21, which really can be a little bit of a brain burner. And this game can lead to some analysis paralysis, we found. But I'll talk more about that in the pros and the cons. Next, we have the lock, which is a hidden auction. This is where you're going to put out your hand, you're going to put money in there, or maybe not put money in there, and then you're all going to reveal at the same time. Whoever has the most money is going to pay that money to the auctioneer, unless, of course, the auctioneer wins it, in which case they pay it to the bank, and then that person will win the auction as well. Next, we have the fixed price auction, which is not really that much of an auction. It's just kind of a sale in which you say, all right, I want $17 for this red one right here. And either someone is going to pay you $17 or you are going to pay $17 to the bank to keep it. So interesting aspect there. Now, the other symbol you'll see is this ×2 right here. And this is not a specific type of auction. This just means that you are going to be putting up 2 items for auction. So if I had a yellow ×2, I would have to put another yellow up with it, or someone else would get to do it, and then they would steal the auctioneer hammer from me. So you never really want to do that. Strategically, I'm not sure when you would ever want to do that. So for instance, I might do this right here. I'd play a ×2, and then I'd play this one, and then both of these would be up for auction. And if red was a particularly lucrative color, that could net me a lot of money. What am I talking about? Let's actually run you through a mock turn. Oh, and the last thing is you're going to get these big player hider screens, which don't work too well. They look really cool. Like they do. They look like museums, which I'm sure are probably real ones, but they don't work particularly well, so I'm not going to have them out there. I'll talk more about those in the pros and cons. So you start with X amount of dollars. I don't know how much it is right now, but you're going to have cards in your hand. And depending on your player count, you will have a different amount of cards in your hand. And the first person, who is the youngest player, is going to go first. And they're just going to put something down like this. So let's just say they put down, do I have an eyeball? Yeah, we'll put down this red one right here. So how it works is it's a start the auction. Somebody says 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, and somebody says 15. They say going, gone, and then that person would pay me $15, which I'd put behind my handy dandy little screen, which I threw off to the side because it's not actually handy or dandy. It actually is kind of dandy. It's just not handy. And then they would get this in front of them. And at the end of the round, if red is one of the 3 most popular paintings, then they will get paid for this painting. If red is the 4th or 5th most popular painting, they get nothing for this, which means they have just lost $15. So now the gavel passes to the next player, and they might go ahead, let's just draw one off the top, and they might do a secret one. So everybody puts their hands out, and everybody reveals, and somebody maybe does, $7 or something like that. Or let's just go with the crazy out there scenario, because I know somebody's probably thinking it right now, where no one bids, where no one wants this crappy yellow one because maybe we have 4 green out and 4 orange out and 4 red out because the round ends once you hit 5, and I'll talk about that in a second. So no one bids on this, which means I just get it for absolutely free. The auctioneer gets it for absolutely free, which could be good for them. Obviously, it's not going to be bad because worst case scenario, it's just 0. You continue to do this, playing cards. You don't draw any cards during a round until a fifth painting of a specific color is put out on the auction block. So let's just say that we have a yellow here, a yellow there, and this guy over here, he has 2 yellows. 2 yellows right there, and then someone puts this out on the auction block. So if this guy decides to put this out on the auction block right now, what would happen is now we have 5 yellows out, which means this round immediately ends. This goes to the discard pile. This passes over to the next player, and we see what the most popular paintings are. And let's just set out a couple more examples. Put one right there, and put out 1 green, and we'll put out 1 blue. Perfect. So let's see what we have all around the table. So obviously we have 4 yellows, which means yellow is going to be in first place, so they would get the 30. So we just put the 30 right there on the first spot. Next, we have 2 reds out here, which means that's the second most popular. So red would get second place and be worth $20 a pop. Now, we have 1 green and we have 1 blue. Which one gets the 10? Well, you start on the left side and you work your way over, and whichever one's the closest to the left breaks the tie. So blue would get the 10, which means this green would be worth nothing. So for my hand right here, I would get $10 for the blue. I would get $30 for the yellow, and I would get, get 40 bucks right there. So everybody is going to collect their money, and then depending on the number of players you have, you're going to get a few more cards. So I believe in a 4-player game, it's like you get 4 more cards into your hand. So you'll get 4 more cards here, 4 more cards here, and then for the last round, you will get 0 cards. Now, Every other phase works the exact same, except the only difference is now paintings are going to be even more valuable, because let's say orange really does well this time, and green really does well, and yellow really does well. How this would work at the end of the second round is oranges are going to be worth 30, green are going to be worth 20, red and blue are worth 0, because you only get paid out on those paintings if that round they finished in first, second, or third, and yellows are going to be worth 40 points. So as you can see, let's just say this is the last round. Yellow might be worth $70 a pop, which means that the auctions are going to increase as you continue the game. Anywho, you're going to continue to go until the end of the fourth round, at which point you'll collect your money. Whoever has the most money will be the winner of Modern Art, and that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Modern Art from CMON. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, 3 to 5 players, a little bit of restricted player count. Also, this is all bidding and auctioning, and if you do not like bidding and auctioning, this one will not be for you, because that is all this game is. Another comment out of this game is, try as they might to cram the theme into the game, the theme just does not come across. This could have been a theme about just about anything. Now, that being said, take that with a grain of salt, because I know absolutely nothing about the world of selling and trading paintings, or paintings in general, or artists in general, so maybe I'm just a plebeian who doesn't understand any of that stuff, but to me and the people I played with, the theme was just there. And they tried to cram the theme in with all the artwork and whatnot, but still, whatever. Now, component-wise, one con I have with the component are these things, which look really stinking cool. They actually look like museums and art galleries from around the world, and that's really neat, but they're just not that functional. They don't stay up as well as you would like them to, and I just wish they were slightly more functional and slightly less flashy. Like, I wish they folded over like this. So it's a small nitpick. I want to assure you that is a small nitpick, but it is something that I want to mention regarding the components, which otherwise are absolutely outstanding. Any other cons? If you have analysis paralysis, this one will bite you, especially as you go down the rounds. And that was fun. I played this now with 3 players, 4 players, and 5 players. I got a chance to play at all the different player counts. And once you get to that third and fourth round, the analysis paralysis kicks in even higher once the stakes are bigger, because you're like, oh my gosh, this painting could be worth $80. And oh, they did a double of that painting, which means that could be potentially $160 sitting on the table. How much am I willing to pay them? But at the same time, because that's the other interesting aspect of the game, you're not just paying the bank, you're actually paying the person. And it's like, all right, well, I would make $40 off this deal, but you would make $120 off this deal. And the analysis paralysis will kick in for some people around the third or fourth round. So take that, note that. Any other cons I have with the game? Oh, it's best at 4 and 5. I liked it at 3. I thought it was a good game at 3. But 4 and 5 I think is great. Moving on to the pros, Modern Art is a great game. Period. If you like bidding, if you like auctioning, this is a game that I wholeheartedly recommend you check out. I'm glad to see this back in print, and I like most Reiner Knizia games, and this one might be my favorite for a variety of different reasons. First, rule booklet. Easy to learn, easy to teach. There's a fantastic Rodney Watch It Played video, which will have you up and running in about 10 minutes with no questions at all, so big thumbs up on that. Also, if you like art, if you're a fan of art, the art looks cool, whole bunch of art, not my particular cup of tea, and the rule booklet has like 24 pages of just art and stuff about the different artists in the game, which is neat to some people. Not me, but I'm sure to a lot of people that is going to be a major selling point of this game, being able to read that. Because I know in Twilight Struggle, I'm a big history buff, reading all the stuff about history was really cool to me, so I'm sure the art for other people is going to do that. This game looks really good on the table, easy to learn, easy to teach. It's really interesting mechanisms. I like the fact that there's different types of auctions. Most auction games and bidding games, there's 1, maybe 2 different ways you're going to auction things off. In this one, there is 4, and as you get deeper into the game, into that third and fourth round, all those decisions that you make become more and more stressful. I also like the fact that card management is something you really need to take into consideration. Yes, you can just put out cards all willy-nilly when what will help you in the short term, but you also need to be looking at that long-term picture, because you're like, those blues made 20 the first time, 10, and now I could probably make them make 30 this time, and I've got a lot of blues on that last round I could probably bank. So there's a really cool aspect of short-term planning versus long-term planning in this game, and I really dug it. So in the end, Modern Art is great. If you like Reiner Knizia games, I think you're really going to love this game. So if you're a fan of his work and you've never played this one, wholly recommend this one. If you're a fan of bidding or auctioning games, absolutely recommend this. This is a great game night game. Oh, my favorite aspect of this game, without a doubt, is the fact that, yes, it may take 40, 50 minutes or an hour, because it says an hour on the box, but it does not feel that long because you'll always be actively engaged pretty much at every moment of the game, except when some people are taking way too long to bid, which will happen, especially in the third and fourth round, because the auction is open to everyone, and it goes by very, very snappy. So in the end, Modern Art, CMON, fantastic, great. Pick this one up. Pure and simple. This is going in my collection. This is going to be one of my new go-to 5-player games. Very simple rules, so you can get it out. You probably learn it in about 3-4 minutes, no problem, and learn how to teach it. Modern Art, check this one out. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. Art, yay or nay? For me personally, I try, but at the same time, paintings do it a lot less for me. I like sculptures a lot better. They just impress me so much more. I mean, I go to the museum probably once or twice a year with my family, and I enjoy it, but it's not something I would ever really pay for if my wife didn't make me pay for it. I'd much rather go learn about history or dinosaurs, which I guess are history, or go to a baseball game, or go fishing, or go, bungee jumping or something. I don't know, water skiing. It's not it's not really for me. But art, are you a big fan of art? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I think one important thing to mention here is that I myself am atrocious at art, which could definitely impact my enjoyment of art. But let me know in the comments below. Art, yay or nay, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.